Rockhopper here, and today I'm with Pamela, who actually lives full-time in her VW Bug. She's going to show us how she sleeps in the car at night, and also she's going to tell us a bit about why she prefers to live in a VW instead of a house.
I'm 54.
And you've been doing this for a year and a half.
Yeah, pretty much.
Show us how you set up the bed.
Sure. So what this is that there was a bench seat, excuse me, and I pulled that out, and I basically, because there's all kinds of elevations, had to make these. This is 3 pieces, and then I can actually open this up here too. You can see, and here is food storage underneath here. But I would have to pull some stuff out so you can see it. But underneath there, this little piece has food storage. So that's that. I just have to take that and that out so I can kind of, you know, that's just things I don't access very often. And yeah, so this just flips down. And then I'll put, like, you know, my 6-gallon waters back there or whatever. Take that out. And then just, you know, go like this. This needs to be pulled up the front seat far enough. Not like that. My bed's a little dirty now, but, and that's about it. And I sleep both ways. And my bedding's on the roof of the car, but this is closed, this is closed. There's my heater that I don't use. Mr. Buddy wants to shut off all the time. This is just some extra stuff, some books, some stuff I'm working on as I travel. And this stuff is just, I make my coffee in here in the tray in the morning in my car because it's cold and windy.
I'm just gonna kind of show a little more of the Bug here. So
not much to it. I got another room back there. You can't see.
Okay, so this is the bedroom right here.
I flip a button. There's a living room up front.
Let's go up to the living room up here. So you got. Okay, so show us the living room here.
It's a joke.
So, well, you look pretty comfortable. I mean, you can sit up pretty much.
Yeah. That's because right here, but you know, and I could hang out and, you know, take a nap. And I have a towel put on this, you know, to block the sun. Oh.
And then you put your seats forward to make room for your bed.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit otherwise.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
So there's the platform right down here.
Yeah, I got a bunch of junk underneath there.
There's a platform and storage down below the
and
bed.
I have like another leg. Okay, I just have one leg over here, but I actually have the leg underneath here. I like to have the free space down there. Just throw, you know, whatever.
Right. You can put everything in
crap
underneath.
Down there. I'll show you the other rooms another time. There's just too much to see here, you know.
Yeah, no problem.
In one show.
I'll just show the dash here for a sec with some of the things up on there.
Oh, that's just a bunch of crap. Trash.
Got your little cook stove there. Pot, hat.
Oh, I gotta clean up for you, man.
And there's some headphones. Might want to listen to some tunes.
Yep.
You got some things in a pack back there. Clothing. Some boots down here. And I notice you've got a bike on the back.
Yeah, I actually haven't used it for a year and a half. So it needs a new tire. But when I was in the Coconino, I drove that a lot 2 years ago. So yeah, just haven't been into it lately.
And there's a look at the bed. Looks pretty comfortable.
What this is a memory foam from Walmart. It's like a 3-inch. I didn't think it'd be comfortable, but I've been sleeping like that, so it worked. And this is just, I have to sleep a little bit on an angle, you know, to get in here. Anyone taller couldn't do it in the bug, but, you know, most people are like, there's no way you could sleep in here, but I didn't think it was possible until I tried. So I've owned multiple trailers, RVs, built houses, you know, lived in a lot of places, and you know, the last RV I had, I just got tired of it, so I've been doing this for probably a year and a half or 2 years, and seen a lot of places. And people say, well, at least you get good gas mileage. That's, you know, I'm not hauling anything. I actually got a hitch originally because this was like 5 years back, and I was gonna have my ex, we built trailers too, and he had built a teardrop, and I wanted to build one, but it just never really happened. So I ended up just putting this on the back. If you're too tall, obviously this isn't gonna work. Buy an SUV. But
Well, how tall are you?
5'6", 5'6" and a half. So yeah, but I do kind of go on an angle, or if I'm sleeping on this side, you know, like my head kind of goes here. There's a stick shift kind of a little bit in between, or slightly on an angle. But since most sites are sloped, they're not, you know, perfectly excavated and level. And I can't sleep with my feet higher than my head. I gotta kind of, you know, depending on the slope of the site I'm on, that's how I'll figure out which way I'm gonna sleep.
So tell me, why do you prefer living in a bug as opposed to a house?
Because I lived in houses for years, and I built houses and sold them, and I like having an adventurous life, and I like seeing new places, and I've always liked camping. And while I don't have enough ground clearance to get down all those really cool four-wheel drive roads, but it's nice, and I've done enough tent camping. Tents are fine unless there's a windstorm, or if it starts raining, and then it sounds like, okay, this is crazy, you know? Like the tent is just going, woo! Last year I was all over Utah, Nevada, saw all kinds of, you know, I'm always finding new places. New parts of New Mexico I was in last year, and it's just, for me, I've always been the kind of person who's like, what's on the other side of the mountain, you know? Or I wonder what this canyon looks like, you know what I'm saying? Seize the day. Carpe diem, right? You gotta make life, there's always things to see. And in the West, there is like a lot of national forest, a lot of BLM land.
So you take advantage of that, camping on the national forest land and BLM land.
I do. That's mostly what I do. It's just because that's what I like. I don't like rules and regulations, and I'd prefer to not pay for nothing, to be told what to do, you know? I can't understand why. No, and I love nature, and I love plants, and there's always exciting new things. You know, there's no two places that are the same, you know? And you could go with the seasons. So you could have the best, you know, go to where the fall colors are, go to where the spring blooms are. If you want to go visit the snow, just for a day to romp in it, and then you could leave, right? So, yeah. To me, in comparison, most people I just never been able to lead the lives of other people that I don't know how they do the same thing every day. It's unfathomable to me to think living like that, you know? I mean, I don't know. So I like, it can get tiring traveling, but you can find nice places and say, hey, I'm gonna where I've been staying in the Harquahala, I've been there for maybe a few weeks, right? You just kind of, you know, it's casual. You just take it day by day, and you meet a lot of really cool people. And they're like, and you could tell them, you know, give them some information on what you know, what you've seen, places to stay, and vice versa. So from all over the place, you know. So that's always good. Just not the kind of thing that happens in regular society. And you meet more exciting people, right? Adventurous and just, you know, they're like people who want to live. They're excited by the adventure. So, yeah.
And you made a comment of people running around like gerbils in their lives.
Oh, yeah, in the little hamster cages. I think I said something different, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's why people pay for their mortgage. They never really own their home, you know, and it's like, and jobs that they usually don't like. And so this is just a different way to live. I mean, there's other stresses that people are like, well, you know, where are you going to stay every night? Or you have to think about all these things, and I don't want the stress. And it's like, but it's a major relief not having all those. Every month the bills come in, you know? And it's just, you know, I've had businesses, I built houses, I was stable in places, you know, at different times in my life. But I was always like, you know, when I was always looking for when am I going to be able to leave and just be able to plan my day and just go be spontaneous, right? And you just hop in the car, you look at a map, or you meet people, and you know, you go on an adventure, and it's just keeps life exciting and fresh, you know? Like, that's the way I believe humans are supposed to be. We're creative, and we figure stuff out, and we like to be excited by life, right? And it's like so many people are making themselves brain dead by just doing the same thing. But more and more people are living in their cars. Even though it's, you know, it's technically illegal in some places, or if they'll make, you know, like Sedona, they're like, you can't sleep in your car, you know, but plenty of people do it. It's a alternative for, you know, the grind that people are trying to live, what I call the nightmare, you know, the workaday world that they're just, you know, you got to take your life into your own hands and do what you got to do.
So basically these people, in essence, same stuff, different day.
Yeah, they're missing out on, it's it's fine if you're brain dead, you know, if you really don't ever want to see anything new or different or have any experiences that you think the excitement would give you a heart attack or whatever.
And you think most people are fearful though, right? Fearful to live like this?
They've been socialized and taught to want security. So it's not a good life for most people. It sounds like a nightmare to them because it represents all their fears of, oh my God, you're homeless and living in your car. And it's like, it's not that bad. It's just, in your mind, it's bad. You know, when I look at their lives, I'm like, well, your life sounds like a crazy nightmare to me, you know? It's just, but yeah, people have been groomed to want security and to fear things and to not take risks and chances. And that's how we grow in life. That's how you know, stretch yourself. That's how you keep awake and aware. I mean, we have, you know, we're creative. We could figure things out, you know? And there's plenty of people living like this you could talk to, give you advice or tell you where to go, right? If you know, where to get water, or what are some good places to go to and check out, you know? So it's not a big deal. To me, it's not even really stigmatized, except the people who live indoors in houses and communities that are tired of seeing maybe, you know, too many people or homeless people, and then they get involved in the law, because in some communities, I kind of was looking at the law recently, and way back when, I think it's Boise, state of Boise versus this guy, they made camping in the city of Boise illegal. And so someone was fighting them, and it went to the Supreme Court. Basically, the Supreme Court found that you can't regulate or interfere or stop a person from doing something it's a natural human need. It's like breathing, sleeping, right? And in the absence of any other sheltering or housing, you know what I mean? Just like, what are they going to do? And I think, with economic woes, and also people finding out or feeling all the political unrest or needing a change in their life from what we were taught to do mainstream-wise, have a career, live in the same house forever, pay your bills, be a good consumer. People are like, I want out. I want to do something different. There's got to be more to life, If you want to hang out in the forest and read philosophy books or learn, Japanese or whatever, or just talk to the trees, or, walk in a rainstorm or whatever, go mushroom collecting, the earth is awesome. And to me, I get creative, and I learn from nature. So, you want to take back your life and your time, there's compromises. No matter how you live, there's pros and cons, right? And there's places you could go to, like here in Cottonwood, you could go to the rec center, take a shower, hang out in the pool. I've gone up to Los Abrigados up there in Sedona and hung out, and they got a great big, at the resort, and kind of hung out there in the back. But, I only do that for a little while. Okay, now you're comfortable or whatever, clean, and to me, it's boring the way most people live. And I think there's just a general angst and anxiety amongst the population, because they've been groomed to behave a certain way that's really not. Humans are curious and creative, and we're designed to figure stuff out, and to have a brain, and we also have a body. That doesn't work unless you walk and use it, right? Or hike, or, it's terrible, like being in a house, which most houses are like completely polluted. It's like the materials we use, all the wood to keep it from mildewing and rotting, they dip it in formaldehydes or just different things that outgas, and the drywall, and everything you build, carpeting, kills mice and rats. It's horrible, everything, all the lacquers and just everything. So it's like, it's toxic. And I think a lot of people are having health problems. So, like being on the ground, we're not like these rubber soled shoes too. I mean, we're bioelectric, They call it the ground for a reason. It's the ground, right? And so all that, we only ended up living like this for the last few hundred years with electrified houses. And I remember looking at whole, Google Earth maps, and the United States is, lit up at night, and other societies are we go to sleep. We're not nocturnal. We don't, have these electrified stay up, and I think it's just all made people crazy. And they're trying to adapt and behave in what, the mainstream media is telling them this is what humans do. It's not working. That's why there's so much drug addiction and misery and whatever, And noise. Like for me, I'm very sensitive to noise and people running around, and sometimes I just go out in nature and I'm like, look, I can breathe, I can think, I can hear myself, So, and I think there's a lot of people that are tired of, they don't feel that they're a part of this society or civilization. They don't agree with it. It's like we've been taught to be good consumers. How much stuff can you buy? You know, I've owned enough stuff, and yeah, the stuff ends up owning you. So it's like, at the end of the day, you want to remember, well, what did I do today? You know, did I see some new stuff? Did I learn? I learned new stuff every day, you know? If you're doing the same thing, you go on autopilot, you know? And I know there's variations in humans. Some individuals need more of that, but not the way they're living like this. You know what I mean? Holy bleep.
And
But yeah.
and one of your things really is you feel really connected to nature, and you love being in nature, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, the good thing is that this is a huge country, and there's a lot of where the road ends, where you can't drive a car. I mean, there's barely, you lose people. You know, there's wilderness places, there's where the mountains are, where the rivers are, there's canyons. You know, it's hard to navigate. So it's just open territory, you know? They weren't able to tame it, you know?
Well, what I think is where the road ends, the adventure begins.
Well, there you go. That's kind of your thing, right?
Kind of my thing,
Yeah,
definitely
so-
my thing.
Right.
What would you say is the anything negative, like the thing that's, you know, the worst about living like this?
Oh, well, wintertime's hard, you know? Just because it's, the nights are like really long and stuff. And, you know, I accommodate myself, you know, during different seasons. And like I said, I've been doing this maybe a year and a half or whatever. But, and there's always that, like, is there going to be a space for me where I go? Because some places get crowded or whatever, you know. And I travel alone a lot. I got to be aware of, like, you know, going down roads, hitting a rock or whatever mechanically. There's things like that. And just other nuisances are like, where's the water? Collecting water, things like that. It's just becomes a part of life. And I hope as things change and humanity kind of have a revolution, I think we should have water everywhere, you know? It's like where there's wells, where there's, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't think we should pay for it, you know? It's not, you can't own Mother Earth, okay? You can think you do, but you don't, you know? So, you know, for me, it's just, like I said, there's drawbacks of every, you know, lifestyle you choose, right? People who choose a comfortable life, they lose out on some of the greatest things. Challenges can turn in later on to some of the best times in your life.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and you know, people will choose different things. You know, a lot of people do this in their SUVs, so they have more room. But because we come from a consumer culture, a lot of times I see people and I'm like, look, I'm always throwing stuff away, and that makes me feel good, right? And I'm like, you could live with very few items. What's the essentials collection, right? We don't need a lot.
Thank you so much, Pamela, for telling us why you like
Who are
living
you?
I'm the unknown. I'm the rock hopper. And so thanks for watching this video, and I hope you learned a thing or two as to why people like to come out here, and there is that sense of community and camaraderie that takes place out here on the road. And that's another element of why people come out here and do these kind of things. So until next time, hope you enjoyed this. This is the Rock Hopper, and I'll see you again.